This is the exact system and story and approach of how my client Darnell achieved 2 photoshoot transformations and achieved more in 2 years than he did in 10 years of training. My name's Sam and I'm the founder of SS Sustained. I've coached over 150 males. We've done 2 team photoshoots and I've done 3 photoshoots myself. And I help guys go from average to elite. I help beginners from looking skinny fat to getting shredded. And I help men like you who have trained for years to finally see muscle that they deserve. Now, Darnell had been training for years. He'd never quite seen that finished product. Sure, he was in good shape, as you can see in the screen, but he wanted more. He wanted to achieve more. And this is where I came into play with him. Darnell started off at 85 kilograms and he was roughly about 25% body fat. And his first real goal was to get in shape for a holiday that was upcoming within about 14 weeks. Now, with Darnell's height and Darnell's current weight, we needed to probably achieve about a 10 kilogram weight loss within the 14 weeks, which was very much achievable. We just needed the right structure and the right system in order to do it. Now, believe it or not, throughout this whole process, Darnell never went below 2,000 calories. He was never doing more than 4 lots of cardio per week. It wasn't that aggressive, and this meant that he was able to build and maintain muscle mass while losing the body fat that he needed to. It also meant that we didn't need to overcomplicate things. His energy levels were still there. He was able to look after his sleep. He was still able to have a balanced life approach alongside that as well. After achieving a wicked transformation for his holiday, we set out for bigger goals. And coming up to this date now, Darnell is now my longest client. He's been with me 103 weeks. He's achieved 2 photo shoots. And this system is going to talk to you about every phase that he's been into. Darnell has literally done every phase under the sun that you could possibly imagine with me. He's been through a gaining phase. He's been through a fat loss phase. He's been through a photo shoot prep. He's been through the maintenance blocks. Whatever phase that you have done, he has been there. So after that 14-week holiday, we had a nice reverse and a nice maintenance block leading into the Christmas months. And then in January, we set out for the first photo shoot transformation that we achieved. And this time, he did things even better. Check out the transformation. It was safe to say that Darnell turned heads for this first photo shoot. He really, really did. Now, coming up to the photo shoot prep, Darnell was actually training 5 times a week. He was on a push-pull leg split. He was training with good intensity, good volume and good accuracy. We really were able to develop his muscle alongside of actually losing body fat. And if people say that you can't do both, you very much can. I've seen it with my own eyes and they're lying to you. We had a nutritional approach where we were able to actually have 4 meals along with the pre and post workout meal, even during a photo shoot prep. Now, the reason that we went for this approach was to keep him satiated, was to keep the muscles full and to make him look bigger on that photo shoot prep for that end day. It also meant that we reduced the risk of any cravings. We were able to actually manage his food across the days where he was eating every 2 to 3 hours, which kept him full. It kept his energy levels up and he was able to actually have a well-balanced life alongside of it. And it didn't feel washed out. It also meant that we were able to keep training intensity up, which meant that every single session he was still able to progress. He didn't go in feeling fatigued and he was actually enjoying his sessions alongside of it. And again, just like the first fat loss, 4 sessions a week in terms of cardio, 10,000 steps, nothing too aggressive. Now, Darnell was very efficient at tracking his food, managing his calories, managing his macros. He was already quite experienced with doing that before he came with me. Now, what we were able to do by joining me was we were able to develop his understanding around calories, his understanding around macros and the importance of protein, carbs and fats and how to actually use them properly. For example, on his non-training days, we had a higher fat approach. And then on a training day, we had a higher carbohydrate approach. Alongside this, we were developing a very strong mindset because without that, none of this would be possible. And that's where a lot of people go wrong, is that they want the physique, but they're not willing to put the work in up here to actually develop that. You need to come out your comfort zone. You need to do something uncomfortable. You need to progress. And doing that in the mind is going to help you with your physique out. So let's just wrap that up. 6 months, he went from this to this. But it doesn't end there. Following on from the first photo shoot, we were able to manage Darnell correctly by putting him in a 4 to 6 week reverse phase going into a maintenance block. Now, this is a phase where a lot of people get it wrong. They will just go and sabotage. They will completely give up any sort of habits and they will go and throw themselves into the deep end and ruin their physique within 3 to 4 weeks. I've seen it myself, horror stories. People putting on 10 kilograms within the space of 10 days. And this is actually one of the most important phases that you could possibly do in any sort of fitness journey. Because the aim is to get stronger. The aim is to grow muscle, but not to ruin your physique. You need to hold that condition and you need to keep your habits and accountability very much switched on. And we were able to do that with Darnell. It then meant that we were able to go into a 6 to 8 month off season, build some really good quality muscle, learn to be uncomfortable, get really, really strong in his lifts, and that set him up for photo shoot number 2. Because he had already done a photo shoot, because he'd already done a really good off-season, building some good solid muscle and foundations alongside of it, photo shoot 2 became very easy. And this is why we achieved this transformation. To now being a shadow of the man that he once was. He's strong, he's confident, he's happy in his own skin. He looks at himself in the mirror with confidence and knowing that he has achieved something great. Now, of course, there's been ups and downs. Darnell has had it hard sometimes, okay? He's had holidays, he's had socials, he's just become a father. He's had all the struggles out there that you guys actually encounter yourselves. But the difference is, he's had the self-belief, he's had the accountability, and he's had the willingness to actually improve and be patient with it. So yes, it may seem like a long time, but you've got to think about the results in between that. You've got to think about the process in between that, the man that he is becoming. And that's what it's all about. So if you're looking to become a new version of yourself, mentally, physically, socially, emotionally, hit the links in the description below, and I'll see you there.